Okay, so I got tagged in this video, so first things first, we're gonna remove that. This is another instance of at-home DIY hair growth oils and a person just saying things that aren't necessarily true. They're kind of more going off of anecdotal evidence versus going off of clinical evidence. Now, these videos are meant to educate, not attack, not, you know, chastise or any of that. With any of the people that I'm correcting, I'm taking a different approach because I feel like people need to learn these things. And I also want to show you the importance of listening to a professional versus listening to someone who just wants clicks and views and to be a guru of some kind without actually putting in the educational work. So we're gonna do this old school and jump back and forth between the video, and I'm gonna go information piece by piece.
I just ran out of my viral DIY hair growth oil, so let's make it together. And this hair growth oil is what I attribute 99% of my hair growth, my hair health, the shine of my hair to this oil. It is too good.
So out the gate, there could be many other factors to her hair growth. I've watched this video all the way through, so I know the information that's coming forward, and I can explain why her hair seems or appears to be growing quicker for her, and I'll get to that at the end of the video.
The first two oils that I always include in my hair growth oil is castor oil and rosemary oil. Both have been proven to help hair growth, hair shine, etc. So I always, no matter what, include these two in the hair growth oils.
Okay, so of those two oils, the only one that has been clinically proven to cause hair growth is the rosemary oil. It was compared to minoxidil, and in a study done, within 3 to 6 months is when you see a significant change, and that's in density, not length. And for some of the people in the study, the rosemary oil was just as comparable as the minoxidil. Rosemary oil doesn't work for everybody. Minoxidil doesn't work for everybody. Sometimes one can use the other. Speak to your doctor about that. As far as castor oil goes, castor oil was never proven clinically in any way as of January 2024 to help the hair grow or cause growth, should we say. They do help with hair growth, but they do not cause your hair to grow. Rosemary oil will cause your hair to grow more dense. I've gone over this on my page before, but castor oil is not going to cause your hair to grow, but it will help with hair growth. And I'll explain that again at the end.
Okay, next up are the other oils that I really like to include as well. I have coconut oil. I almost always include this just because I have such a big tub from Costco. Then I also have grapeseed oil and jojoba oil. Last but not least, I like to include some sort of essential oil or peppermint oil just because I don't really like the smell of rosemary oil too much. And this is the bottle I use. I bought it from Amazon. I think it was like $3-ish. It's really helpful because it has the measurements on the actual container, so I just go off of that. So I would suggest buying one of these and just like reusing it over and over again. Okay, so the first...
Okay, so of the oils listed, which to go in order, I'm going to put some images on the screen here. So let's talk coconut oil. So there is no scientific evidence that coconut oil can make the hair grow faster. Coconut oil does have benefits for the hair and scalp, with preventing, as you can see, preventing dandruff, preventing split ends and hair breakage, which is really important when it comes to growing your hair. The reason why your hair may seem like it's growing slow is because of the rate it's splitting and breaking at. Naturally, your hair splits and breaks off at a slightly slower rate than it grows. So it may seem like your hair just doesn't grow at all. The amount of blondes I have come in that goes, my hair doesn't grow, that like refuse to get their ends cut. I always ask them, then where did your roots come from? If your hair's not growing, how do you have roots? So keep that in mind. There's also no research to support the idea that jojoba oil directly stimulates hair growth. Fun fact about jojoba, like coconut oil, I believe is the other one, it can be milled down fine enough to actually penetrate the hair and provide more moisture to the hair. So that's one benefit to it, but again, you're adding moisture to the hair. There are some studies that suggest grapeseed oil may be beneficial for the hair loss, but it's not in human hair growth that we've seen it. You can pause to read a little bit more facts about this. It's lightweight, it's odorless, full of nutrients. It'll go into the linoleic acid and the vitamin E, which slows down DHT, dihydrotestosterone. So what DHT is it's what is produced when the 5-alpha or the alpha-5 reductase enzyme attacks the testosterone in the body. Everybody produces it, men more than women, but it attacks the testosterone in the body, converting it into dihydrotestosterone, DHT, or dihydrotestosterone, which is a common cause for hair loss. So this is going to do the linoleic acid and the vitamin E are probably helping fight off that reductase enzyme. But again, there isn't enough evidence to prove that grapeseed oil can cause hair growth. It will have nutrients, which are very essential to growing your hair, healthy hair is essential to growing your hair out. This is what I found funny because she puts peppermint oil in it because she doesn't like the smell of rosemary oil, but peppermint oil is recognized as a way to help with hair and scalp issues. But it will slow down the hair loss or hair thinning and to regrow hair that has already been lost. So the most it's going to do is help regenerate hair that's gone or create density, not length. And this real quick is just, what I said about the castor oil earlier in the video.
1 ounce of that. Okay, perfect. That's 1 ounce of the castor oil in. The second oil we're going to do is 1 ounce of rosemary oil. This little container is exactly 1 ounce. Going to pour the entire container in. That's how she's looking so far. I'm next going to put in 1 ounce of coconut oil. It's in this little container because I had to melt it in the microwave. So we're sitting at 3 ounces right now. This is a 5 ounce container. So I'm then going to put in 1 ounce of jojoba oil and then 1 ounce of grapeseed oil just to top it up. And last but not least, I'm going to go in and add the peppermint oil, usually about like 10 to 15 drops. Screw the cap on, give it a little stir, and that's how she looks. You have your DIY hair growth oil. Container of oil usually lasts me like 3 to 4 times that I can use it. Plus I still have extra oil. Like, honestly, purchasing the oils in bulk off of like Amazon or whatever, and then just reusing them for multiple things, not even hair growth oil, is the best bang for your buck in my personal.
So let's talk about what's actually going on with her hair. What she's doing is coating her hair in oils and nutrients, which is preventing it from splitting and breaking. It's not causing the hair to grow, it's just giving her less of a reason to need haircuts as often. It's still important to get haircuts. Now, the problem with a person that is not trained or has the proper educational background or doesn't have enough experience in doing hair, doing these DIY things for you guys at home, is that there are things about hair that they don't know to warn you about, and that's where it becomes a problem. For example, if you have low porosity hair, your hair already has trouble absorbing and maintaining hydration. Coating your hair in a bunch of oil is going to make it even harder for it to retain hydration. So what's going to happen is it's going to suffocate the hair on the inside. It's going to dry, become brittle, and break easier, causing your hair not to show growth as much. If you want to know what your porosity of your hair is, you can do the porosity test. There's a water cup test that works pretty well. It's not super accurate, but it'll give you at least an idea. The best way to grow your hair is to take proper care of it to make sure it's not being exposed to a lot of heat, making sure that you're not living in wet hair, to make sure that it's adequately moisturized and retaining hydration, to get regular trims, to trim off the splits as they split before they split up and break. A trim should be like a 1/2 inch. But to appropriately start a hair growth journey, to get the maximum length, you have to do a sacrifice cut and cut it 1 inch above all of your split ends. Then maintain regular haircuts, cutting off just a little bit of your splits when your hair starts to split. You will see a lot more growth from your hair. The best thing you can do for your hair is a healthy diet and healthy exercise. Our hair doesn't exactly have a digestive system, so our digestive system extracts nutrients out of the things that we eat. So doing like a flaxseed mask on your hair is not going to add a bunch of nutrients. I know it's culturally relevant in some situations, but you're going to get more out of the flaxseed by eating it. And those ingredients that she was using, those can be found in salon products and independent brands that are salon quality products. And those have been worked with a cosmetic chemist to make sure the nutrients are at a molecular size and level that it's easier absorbed by the hair. The molecular weight of raw vegetative material, it sits somewhere above 650 Daltons, I believe. It might be 750. I think animal protein is over 650. For it to penetrate the hair and have any benefit to the hair, it needs to be less than 500. Again, this is something that a professional would know. So this is not to give her any hate. This is not any of that. If you want to try out her formula and see how it works for you, just make sure you don't have low porosity hair. And understand what you're doing is you're coating the hair so that way it can't split and break. And the only products that were proven to work with hair growth in that are the rosemary oil and kind of the grapeseed oil. But those have been shown to create density, not length. I know this was a long one, guys, but I want to make sure you guys have all the information. So I apologize, but I hope that helps.